Obviously, Saturday's game, looking back at that, the last 18 or 20 seconds obviously gets magnified, but like I said, Saturday after the game, there's going to be 50 to 60 things. There was actually 73 things that we looked at yesterday in film and went over. So in terms of the progression that's being made, obviously we're going in the right direction. A lot of things individually and collectively that have been improved upon, but we also know that we've got a long ways to go. And the guys, from the standpoint of how they've bounced back every game and every practice and responded yesterday, I'm happy with that response because they've definitely been both feet in the boat, trying to row in the right direction and getting better as we go forward. So obviously this week, going to Northwestern tomorrow night, Coach Collins has got a team has played pretty well through the preseason, and now in the conference play, they've gotten two pretty big wins on the road at Nebraska and Minnesota. Played Ohio State really tough. It was, I think, a 3-point game with 4 minutes to go, or a tie game with 4 minutes to go. Then Ohio State was able to knock down a couple shots and pull away there at the end. And obviously Maryland was able to shot the three really well. And in that game last week at Northwestern, or 2 weeks ago at Northwestern. So we know it's a team that's developing. Backcourt play is really good with Demps and McIntosh. And then they've got a freshman in Aaron Falzone that's really coming into his own and starting to show what he can do. So,
Greg, when you say 73 things, what's normal for video clips? And then I think you said the other day that that's not all bad stuff, right? I mean,
right.
So what do you think the breakdown of good to bad was?
Normal for me has been I've been in the 90s to 100 so reducing is a good thing, and I would say there's probably, of the 73, with just off the top of my head, 50 are things we got to get better at. 23 were things that are pretty good. So we're moving in the right direction. It hasn't always been that ratio, but I think I'm seeing more and more consistency in terms of doing things the right way and how we want to play and an identity that we have started to develop. Now it's a matter of becoming more consistent with that identity, and hopefully we're, like I said, taking steps in the right direction.
Greg, when you guys played Northwestern last year, I think it was pretty easy to see that Chris had brought in some talent. It was just young, and it was probably magnified going against you guys because you were so old and experienced. Now that another year has passed and those guys have another, almost a full season under their belt, do you see the talent starting to come together in the way they play? Yeah,
it is, and it took a little bump in the road with Ola getting hurt. They've had to readjust a little bit and added Van Zagren back into the middle. It changed a little bit what they've done defensively. They've been mostly man-to-man up until the last 3-4 weeks, so to speak, when Alex went down. But they are. You see the growth in McIntosh. Obviously, Demps has been a scorer for them since he stepped on campus. Lumpkin has been a role player for them. They've gotten some good play off Taphorn and Lindsay off the bench. But also I think the emergence of Falzone, and he's an older kid that he was at prep school out east. We actually saw him. He actually even came here for a visit, unofficial visit. But those emergences of those other pieces have helped them. When Falzone stepping up has helped them replace what they lost with Ola for the most part. So they've changed a little bit. They've gone from more of they played through Ola a lot early in the year, and now they obviously are relying on the three and shoot a fair amount of threes. And when they're on, they're really, really good, and you just try to take them out of their comfort zone with that. So Chris knows what he's doing, and obviously those guys are buying in. You can tell how hard they play and how they like to play together, and it's a team that has grown throughout the couple of years that Chris has been there.